It's Thursday, August the 29th. The lake level is a little over 914. It's been going down steadily. They haven't been doing much generation at all. And water temperatures in the low 80s. Before we get started on the fishing report, I want to remind everybody that Extreme Outdoors is having their annual tackle swap meet on September the 21st at Extreme Outdoors behind Alaric Marine. And if you haven't got a table reserved, they've got a few left, but it's a pretty awesome deal. I mean, you can get some great deals down there. If you're selling product, there's a lot of people there to buy. And it's not just fishing, you know, you'll find hunting stuff, a little bit of everything. So if you've got some stuff that you want to sell, or you got some stuff that you want to buy, you want to go down there to Extreme Outdoors on September the 21st. But, you know, the fishing's been, you know, pretty decent. We had the Oak Outdoors 2-day tournament this past weekend, and the weights were really tight. It took 31 pounds to win, and the big fish of the event was a 7-pounder, which is huge for summertime fishing. Now, the first day, you know, I kind of stumbled. Second day, I caught a small limit, but, you know, a lot of the fish that were caught, you know, there's bait pretty much all over the lake. So, you know, the fish are really scattered. So one thing that is working pretty good is a flutter spoon, little swim baits. Some of the fish are out there in the middle of the lake. Some of them are over, you know, treetops, where you can find, you know, basically got to chase the bait around and find fish underneath the bait. But there's also a good shallow bite going on. You know, the first day of the tournament, we had cloudy, overcast conditions, and I threw a topwater a bunch, but I know a lot of the guys caught them on like a Spro Cyclone Junior, Whopper Ploppers, Chopo, and, you know, even glide baits up there dead shallow. It seemed like you just had to cover a lot of water, which I tried to do that, but I think I tried to do it in too many different areas of the lake. It seems like if you just put your trolling motor down and kind of dissect an area, if you're fishing shallow, you're probably a little better off. What I tried to do is I had too many things in the back of my head, previous places I've caught fish when the conditions were like that. Instead of fishing what was in front of me, I kind of tried to fish all over the lake. But the second day, I just fished in the mid-lake area, which, you know, a lot of the guys did. And a lot of good fish came out of that area. Now, when the sun gets up, it seems like they're dead shallow, and you got to cover a lot of docks. But I caught a lot of fish, and I know some of the other guys did as well. In behind the docks and around the walkways and floats, I was flipping a 3/8 ounce 5-fish lures, green pumpkin orange, cover jig, along with the 7/16 finesse jig. It seemed like if I got out past about 7 or 10 feet, I couldn't get a bite. But, you know, what's kind of strange for as warm as the water is how shallow some of those fish are. And a lot of times if you just take that, you know, a Whopper Plopper style bait, or a spook, even a glide bait, and just stay shallow, there's not a lot of them up, but the quality of fish that are up are good ones. Now, there was several fish caught on glide baits as well. You know, and the glide bait's kind of one of them deals I don't have a ton of confidence in. Now, my partner I fish with, he's really good at it, and I can be fishing with him and he'll catch him in front of me. I always, for some reason, just like to throw something a little different, but I know a lot of guys caught fish on the extreme glide baits and different glide baits as well. And a lot of that's around the sides of the docks, in the creeks, in the coves. You just gotta, the same with the topwater bite, you just gotta cover a lot of different types of banks till you find out what kind of rock you're getting bit on, then try to key on that. And every day it seems to change. And if you notice, if you looked at any of the weights in the tournament, some of the guys had, you know, 15 to 16 pounds one day and 2 to 3 the next. So, you know, it really changes from day to day. You got to keep your mind open, stay on the move if you're fishing those shallow baits like that. Now, you know, the mid-lake area, Kimberling City to you know, up into Ants Creek, Baxter, up to about Cow Creek, that area of the lake seems to have about the best, you know, stain in the water. It's got 3 or 4 feet of visibility, and I think that's why the shallow bite has been good in that area. There's a lot of fish, or there's some fish out there in the conservation brush piles. It seems like if you find a brush pile that you can catch a keeper or two, don't be afraid to come back to that same one in an hour or two. Now you can run a lot of different conservation brush piles and rock piles and not get a bite, but if you find one that's got fish in it, it's pretty consistent that, like I say, you can come back the next day, a couple hours later, and usually catch another one. A lot of drop shot fish. You know, that's probably the most consistent, is the drop shot. But as far as like in the tournament this weekend, I didn't do much drop shotting. For the most part, you know, if I catch a keeper out there, it's a Kentucky weighing about 2 pounds. In the event that we fished, you know, 12 pounds a day wasn't going to do you any good. You needed to get in that 14, 15 pounds a day, which is what I thought I could do on the docks if I got enough of the right bites. But anyways, drop shot, and you probably heard me talking a lot about the missile baits. I've been throwing them since the first of the year, and it's really been my go-to bait. It's a 4-inch magic worm. This one here I got is a 6-inch, and it's great for throwing on a shaky head. You can throw it on a drop shot as well, a little bit bigger worm, but it's great for, you know, Texas rigging, flipping around docks, fished at a pressured. But the Morning Dawn is the one is my go-to bait. And they've got a lot of good colors. They've got a PBJ, watermelon red. So a lot of it's just, you know, into confidence. And a lot of my drop shot fish, when I've been guiding, seems like I'm having a little trouble setting right on top of them, catching them. But if I can see them out there 15, 20 foot away from the boat, even 50 foot, I'm having a little bit better luck with the live scope, you know, casting to them. And a lot of times there'll just be 1 or 2 fish out there, and those seem to be the ones, for me, that are a little easier to catch. Or if you can find a ball of shad with a couple fish underneath it, just cast out there and get that drop shot through that. And, you know, Demiki rigs will work as well out there. But you got a busy weekend coming up. But, you know, normally this time of year, like I talked about last week and the week before, the end of August, the 1st of September, we always get a little cool down, and then fish start to move shallow, a lot of the better quality fish. And it's happening right now. There's not a lot of them, but I expect, you know, more of the quality fish to move up there in the creeks, around them boat docks. Now, I haven't mentioned anything about the river. The river bite's kind of been off, but I've been finding a lot of bait in a lot of the creeks. I'm just having trouble finding fish underneath them. But that should change as the water cools down. So till next week, good luck, good fishing.